Team Canada had legends like Geraldine Heaney, Hayley Wickenheiser, Danielle Goyette, Jayna Hefford, Cassie Campbell, Nancy Drolet, Therese Brisson, and Vicky Sunohara. Not to mention a young D pair that was relied upon more and more by the coaching staff.
I think there was a need then. They had lots of offensive defenders at the time, and there was a need for defensive players. So I thought, well, this might be how I make the team. And so you take that role and you accept it and you become good at it, and then that's who you are. We both came into this team, I think it was Brisson, Heaney, two of the best defenders in the world, right? And they'd been there for a while, and Heaney was the Bobby Orr of women's hockey at the time. So yeah, for sure, you come in initially and you look up to them.
Becky and Cheryl, I think, together for the coaches just became reliable. High and hard off the glass, that was their MO. They put it into the neutral zone and just got our forwards to skate onto the puck. It wasn't up to them to make that first pass, it was up to them to get the puck out. And they often were on the PK, if I remember correctly. They often were put in positions in the last couple minutes of a period, and just very reliable, I would say.
Cassie Campbell, of course, would be the future captain and transitioned to herself from forward to defense. She did that in 1999, coming out of the 98 Olympics.
Here comes Campbell. She's got good speed. Is it up ahead? Puck rolled in front. Campbell shoots, scores!
I had such a great time playing with Jayna when it was our club team or, prior to, and she's just clutch, right? And so she just scored big goals. She scored many, but many of them were big, big goals.
Of the game is number 22, Hayley Wickenheiser.
Wick definitely amplified the rivalry, so there's no secrets there, right? She's going to make that rivalry even more intense than it already is.
Vicky Sunohara for me is just a glue piece. She sort of connects all groups. We were fairly young, but I always knew Vicky would connect anyone on a team. So I always felt like she was one of those irreplaceable pieces on a team.
Their goaltending was impeccable. Sami Jo Small and Kim St. Pierre.
At the 1999 Three Nations tournament, she played a couple of games in the World Championship last year, a native of Châteauguay, Quebec.
Sami and Kim were totally different, both incredible professionals, very, very different people, but the salt of the earth, nice. So when they would win, I would be incredibly beyond happy.
And it's funny too, because they support each other so well.
I wouldn't say that Mel Davidson necessarily had the most faith in me as a goalie. She always said that I scared her in net, I worried her because I was kind of all over the place. I came into the national team program and I had zero technique. I had never learned to butterfly before I joined the Olympic team in '98. I just came in with, I would say, raw athleticism and tried to learn from Kim and eventually Charlie. But they were just so disciplined in net. They just looked smooth. They looked like they knew what they were doing. And I didn't have any of that. And I felt like I just wanted to battle all the time to try to make that save and keep making that save over. And
of course, we have the superstars, but nothing can dispute the goaltending with Team Canada that we had in that decade or beyond that decade. It's off the charts. Any goalie could go in any time at any World Championship or Olympic Games.
Our goaltending was spectacular, and I think one of the biggest parts about being a good goalie is your demeanor, and both of them were so calm. And Sami came to the program, and it was one of her first events ever, was a Three Nations Cup, and the championship game went to a shootout. And so she, I think I was more nervous and I wasn't shooting. And she'd go stand in the net and she'd make a save, and then she'd come skate over to the bench and she'd kind of be kidding around, and it's oh, my turn to go back in the net, and back she'd go and make another save. And I was just amazed at how she could be so calm and just enjoy the moment especially when she was new on the team, let alone just the fact that it was a big moment.
And when you have a goaltender and you can look behind you and know that that save's going to be made and there's trust in it, you just have so much confidence. And that confidence allows you to play your game.
Our two goaltenders, you hear all the stories this week about who's going to get the final, and I wouldn't want to make that decision.
I think that'll be a tough decision to see who gets the nod for the final, and I wouldn't want to be the coach on that one.